Hello everybody and welcome back to Pokemon Ranger! So we're gonna be, as we continue to go for the deeper portions of Lyra Forest, and here's where we encountered the senior citizen, a very mysterious one at that. I come to this infernal place, the legendary Pokemon, all Hastings' fault. Get there, comeuppance. Just comeuppance. Just watch me. Are you saying something, old man? Ah! You startled me! You should know better than to sneak up on someone like that. I see. You're a ranger from Raintown? Yes I am. It took you long enough to get here. Of course, I suppose I expect far too much of a Union Ranger. Now let me get a closer look at your face. Ha! A mere child. The Union sent a pipsqueak for me? Classic, I say. Classic! Yeah, definitely not suspicious. But child, this is no fault of yours, for it is I, Gordor, who longs his bearings in this forest, and called for help. Now, return me the courtesy of telling me your name. I see. Ditto it is. Yes, I am. Now, guide me out of the forest. And so now, the very mysterious Gordor is not going to be chatting with us for a while. And if we're trying to talk to him, he'll just keep on saying, pick up the pace. But anyways, and now we have Quilava! Now, Quilavas are definitely a little bit more aggressive than Cyndaquils. And it's definitely more of a mandatory thing for you to get Quilava here, is because of something that we're gonna see very soon. Once we are done with this. Not too shabby, I guess. From what I understand, that device, Styler, was it? It's not something that just anyone can use. For a capture to succeed, the ranger using the Styler must have the spirit of justice. Was it? Yeah. Up, and there he goes again. But, ditto, was it? What exactly is the spirit of justice? Or indeed, what is justice? Yeah, that is something, alright. Who is to say what is considered justice now will be the justice of tomorrow? Perhaps that was too difficult for a child, or for a child like you to grasp. Maybe so. But anyways, now as we continue go down this path, here's where we meet, let's just say, a very evil Murkrow. That Murkrow, does it dare to mock me for losing my parents in the forest? Maybe. Grr, you Murkrow, how dare you heckle me? I won't take your insolence! You useless, contrary, meaningless, crass, bombastic buffoon of a Murkrow! Yeah, now you see why that Jigglypuff got terrified. It appears that Crass got to that insolent bird. That whole exchange has given me heartburn. Get me out of this confounded forest immediately. Fine, we will, jeez. But anyways, now we have this fallen log, which requires a field move that we just got this Quilava to actually utilize his ability for. Yeah, like I said, this is why you definitely needed this Quilava. Yeah, but anyways, there we go, fallen log gone. Huh. impressive. Perhaps your talents are somewhat wasted. Wasted escorting this old man. Yeah, again, definitely not suspicious at all. But anyways, as for this portion of the forest, now we're gonna be attacked by a whole bunch of Beedrill. So make sure that you don't stop moving. Yeah, because you may have to get yourself attacked by a bunch of them. But anyways, now for this area, it's definitely a lot more peaceful considering there are a bunch of we have those flowers, and we also have Hoppips too, which they essentially act very similar to the Jigglypuff, where the Hoppips essentially just like to float around, not so much utilize any attacks. Oh yeah, and we also have a Beautify as well. And we also have that shrub, which we are actually going to come back to pretty soon. But now we get to this portion of the forest, where it is acts like an actual maze. Is that the heckling Murkrow? Being called a buffoon must have stunned. Gee, you think? But anyways, everyone, now that we've reached the Labyrinth Grove, the scenery is confusingly similar. There are other signs like this too. Yeah, like I said, this portion of the forest really is like a maze, because as you'll see what happens if you just happen to go in the wrong direction. Yeah, you essentially get yourself taken all the way back to the beginning of the maze. Did we not pass the spot earlier? Ditto, was it? Surely you're not suggesting that you've lost your way. Actually, I just wanted to show that off. Aren't you rangers trained for this sort of thing? Do something useful. Again, definitely not a suspicious person. But anyways, as we go down on the correct path, now we have Nincada! Now, unlike its evolution, Ninjask, yeah, the Nincadas will not only attack you, but it will also go underground, just like with the Diglets. But, however, unlike with the Diglets, these Nincada will attack you. So yeah, just keep that in mind for that. But anyways, now since we just got that Nincada, how about we go back to that shrub back here? Yep, so then we can have our lovely Nincada cut down the shrub to see what we can actually find in there. And trust me, going and unlocking this is definitely very, very worth it. It's because... yeah, that's right. Now this right here is the only location in the game where you can find Venusaur! Now, while Venusaur may move really slowly, but occasionally Venusaurs will grow those large seeds. Yeah, so just be very careful of that. Oh yeah, and considering how slow Venusaur moves, yeah, as you saw, yeah, Venusaur moves so slow that it is really hard for him to keep up. But anyways, now the direction you have to go through with these Nincadas is essentially the up path. And then we have the third, where we have not only Tailo and also Swallow. Now you essentially if you want to go down the correct path, go down the pathway where the Swallow is. And now we have reached this portion of the forest, where it is really, really hazy around. Gee, and I wonder which Pokemon that can actually utilize the move Haze. Yeah, as it now hides within the tree. That wretched Murkrow again? It bears a grudge badly. Impressive. But what is this dark haze? Why does it cling so? Get me out of this dark misery of a forest at once! Now, the only way that we can do that is if we knock down that Murkrow out of the tree, which we just happen to need to utilize a Phanpy for. Now, thankfully, as you can see as well, if you don't already have a Phanpy on you, they do place at least 2 of them here. So you can at least be able to get at least 1 of them here, so that you can at least knock out the Murkrow. But anyways, everyone. Then once you're done with that, we're actually are gonna get ourselves into our very next boss fight in the game, and it is actually the very same Murkrow. But you're not fighting him alone. The Murkrow is also joined by 4x4 Spinaraks. Now, if this was just Murkrow alone, he would not be so much of a bother. Yeah, it's more so considering that you're dealing with not just the Murkrow, and considering that not only the Murkrow and also the Spinaraks move quickly, and also not to mention with the many spider webs that the Spinaraks are gonna be not only, but also because of the spider webs that the Spinaraks are gonna be spitting out occasionally. Yeah, that's what makes this fight really that much of a pain to deal with. Now, then as for Murkrow himself, now the only attack that this Murkrow does is that he actually utilizes that haze attack, where just like with the poison gas that we saw from the Venonet, where the haze would occasionally where the haze would just cover up the entire field. But like I said before, if this was just Murkrow alone, yeah, it really shouldn't be too much trouble. But considering that you also have to do with Spinaraks, yeah, that fight could definitely be a little bit of a tedious one to go through. But anyways, there we go. That dark haze lifted upon you, capturing that Murkrow. Was it creating that haze? But it annoys me to no end to be toyed with by such a wretch. Enough! Release the vile thing! Again, he's definitely not a suspicious person. How much of my time must you waste? Get me out of this forest once and for all! Yeah, we will. Jeez. But anyways, now once you go for here, now we essentially, now we essentially are back here again. And we just saw a Go Rock Squad grunt there. That was the Go Rock Squad. I've heard they are roundly reviled and ridiculed as wrongdoers. However, how much of that reputation is fair or warranted? Perhaps they are merely and grossly misunderstood. Yeah, definitely keep that info in mind of what he's saying here. Why, they may be more useful than some worthless rangers who can barely manage the simple task of a guide. Gee, yeah, I wonder where his standards lie. Ah, I see where we are. I can manage on my own from here. I should say that you were successful, for what it's worth. I enjoyed our brief time together. You Union Ranger. Yeah, I'm sure you did. Again, he's definitely not a suspicious person at all. But anyways, oh, ow. Yeah, and now here's where we run into Murph again. Was that old gent the one that requested the mission? Yeah, he sure came across highly and mighty. That's some laugh. Yeah, that's some laugh, alright. Hey, Ditto. I just finished my mission too. It sure was so worthwhile doing. Do you want to hear about it? Did you just shrug? No? You didn't say anything? Well, alright. I guess I'll tell you. Well, unfortunately, this summer that we're not gonna be hearing that much. It was a big mission too. I don't usually get to do anything important, but this one was. I went with Arya into caves and other places to get on the trail of the Gordor squad. You know how Arya can be really moody? That really made the mission that much harder. I don't think she's really moody. Are you tired? Want to go back? Well, we were essentially going to be going back anyway. But anyways, now that right there is another mission cleared. And we're back. The lost senior citizen may have been somewhat eccentric, but he must have felt scared and lonely. Really? It didn't really seem like he was. Seeing you must have been a great relief to him in that dark forbidden forest. I'm not sure about that. You've also done well to put up with his ungrateful attitude. All in all, an excellent job. Ditto, I hereby certifying you as Ranger Rank 7. Yep, we're now at number 7. And now that we are Ranger Rank 7, we can now utilize the Dark type Poke Assist and also the Ghost Poke System as well. Another thing, Ditto. You are now authorized to be accompanied by up to 6 friend Pokemon, in addition to your partner. Yep. Yeah, we can now have another friend with us. There's one last thing. Ditto, you're now authorized to operate your styler with a 4-segment partner gauge. Yep, we surely can now too. Yeah, that's definitely some very good things to actually get now. But what was that senior citizen doing where no one would dare to go? There's something not right. Now he gets it. Oh yeah, and this time we get a message from Cameron. Thanks for helping Percy out with the Polytoad rescue. If you're not on any important mission, can you come out to Summerland for a ranger base? What for? I've got something for you. It's something really awesome. And so you can look forward to it. Seriously. Oh, what's that? You got a message from Cameron, and he wants you to visit him in Summerland. Yes indeed. All right. This might actually be a good opportunity. And why is that exactly? Ditto, since you've gone up in rank, I'm going to authorize the use of the Dragonite bus. I'll come upstairs, Ditto. I think we'll get to that for the next part. Yeah, since we haven't done more than a fair share for this one as it is. Wow, that is cool, Ditto. You get to ride the Dragonite bus already. I'm still too low in Ranger rank, so I have to walk everywhere. But you know what? Some missions go better if you're on foot. I just did one like that actually. That mission was, how far can you go in 100 steps? I tested it out. You'd be surprised at how far you can go. Yeah, I bet. But with that said, that should be all I'm gonna do this part. And so, until next part, I'll see you guys next time.